Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the lunch table. I'm your host, Ben Houselog, aka Ben Likes Sports, and this is probably the most important episode that we have ever put out. And if you are watching the video of this, you will see that it is a very special occasion because I am wearing a black shirt, and I usually don't do that. Obviously, I am bald right now. For all you audio listeners out there, I shave my head. And yes, I have two bandages on my head. Count them. 1, 2. I looked at the camera and I forgot it was inverted. That's on me. Let me explain how we got here. Obviously, yes, we're going to get into the sports talk. I understand that's why you're here. But I have to explain this for all the people who are tuning in who didn't even know that this thing existed. Because I gained 64,000 Instagram followers in 24 hours. That sounds like I'm bragging. I'm not. It's crazy. Never thought I'd be in this situation, but yet here we are. I have found myself in this situation. So let me explain. When Malik Neighbors tore his ACL, I was angry. I was absolutely enraged. MetLife's turf sucks. We've talked about it on here. He got hurt, so I said, you know what? 250,000 followers. I am shaving my head bald. I put it on my story. I post on my story like 20 times a day. I forgot about it. Then, 2 days ago, I hit 200,000 followers on Instagram. Big milestone, right? As a lot of you guys know, I've been getting denied from jobs left and right. I have a degree. I'm coachable. I'm an employable person, but I guess not to them. So I saw 200,000. I thought, hey, I might have a future in this, right? Maybe I do have a future, a lasting future. And then I saw the DM of a screenshot from that story. And man, my heart dropped. So I made a video about it. Because everyone's like, oh, are you going to keep good on your promise? And me, I'm a man who keeps good on my promises. So I posted on Instagram thinking nothing of it. And I wake up today and I realize I'm going to have to go bald today. So I did it. I'm a man of my word. I made a promise and I stuck to it. Now let's get to why I have bandages on my head. See, I come from a family where everybody in my family is bald. All the guys. And those who are not bald probably should be bald. Right? You gotta kind of shave it. All right. When I start seeing your scalp from the front, like the top of your head from the front, then I'm kind of like, all right, bro, let's just get it over with. All right. Hey, you had a good run. Let's put that thing out of its misery. But I thought that the skin on your head would be the same as the skin on your face. Because you guys know I'm a bearded individual. I have to shave like crazy. So I got it. I clipped it down. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, the buzz cut. I'm not taking the coward's way out. As you can see, this Joan is shining. You can see the ring light reflecting it back. It looks like I'm wearing a Cuban link on my skull, except I don't have money like that. And I took the razor, and I said, you know what? Ripped it back, and I just felt liquid in my head. I was like, man, is this what it feels like to be bald? I look up, and there's blood all over my head. I took a chunk of skin out. I said, maybe that's just the top, right? Maybe it's just the top. So I go to the side. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. I took 2 chunks of skin out of my head. It looked like when I was done that Edward Scissorhands did the YMCA on my skull. You guys know Edward Scissorhands? He has all the scissors on his hands. Because get it, he's Edward Scissorhands. He did the YMCA and especially hit the M part. YM, blood everywhere. So I had to cover it up, put some Neosporin on. Right? This is my first time being bald. Everyone's laughing at me. Oh, look at this dude. He's bald and he just cut his head his first time shaving. Do you expect a baby to get up and walk? You scumbag. Do you expect a baby to get up and walk their first time? No, you don't. You know why? Because you understand it's a baby. It's their first time. Their first time being mobile. Like it was my first time being bald. So give me a little bit of grace. Okay? Now, another announcement. We are Penn State. They fired James Franklin. That's not the announcement. I kind of just ad-libbed there. We are changing the shows, right? It used to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I would literally never post because I would either forget to or it would be too late in the night and I didn't want to wake up my roommate who lives directly below the room I'm posting from. So I said, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a Tuesday show and we're going to have a Thursday show. Tuesday show is going to be more of the wrap-up, right? The games from the weekend, what I think happened, all that kind of stuff. The Thursday show is going to be based on more of the predictions and the stuff that happened in between Tuesday and Thursday. It's going to be recorded on Wednesday night so you guys can wake up in the morning, turn it on. We're all in agreement there? Good. Good. Now let's get into the games. We are going to look at a couple college games, okay? Like, on my screen it says Ohio State at Wisconsin. Wisconsin just got shut out and got 30 hung up on them by Iowa. As an Iowa fan, that is not good. We are going to shelf that one, okay? We are going to shelf that one. We're going to go college games, then we're going to go NFL games. Then whatever else pops into my head, I will talk about. We will have longer shows, okay? And I apologize for all of you who have been waiting for another upload. I'm a lazy sack of potatoes. Just the facts. But before we do, I've only been bald for a handful of hours. About 5. Maybe 4, to be exact. And here are some of the craziest names that people have called me. Brian Dable on Ozempic. That's kind of crazy. Not going to lie. Sean Strickland on estrogen. Pretty crazy. Not going to lie. Johnny repents of his sins. I don't even want to explain that one. We have children in the audience. Someone even called me Marcin Gortat. And if I could set a ball screen like him, man, hey, the Gortat screen, look it up. Blows your absolute mind. But all the hullabaloo aside, let's get into it. First game that we are looking at. 3:30 Eastern, ABC, you have Ole Miss going into Georgia. Now, Ole Miss almost lost to Washington State. It's not good, but they handled LSU. What kind of Ole Miss are we going to get? They seem to always play decent or good enough in big-time games. They lose to the teams that they should lose, and they beat the teams that they should beat, and then it's always a toss-up year by year. Are they going to beat the team that they shouldn't beat? And then Georgia, who probably should have lost against Auburn. I can't lie. This dude, Kirby Smart, was going up to the refs talking about, I was clapping. I wasn't calling a timeout. Name one time when you went to clap and your fingers hit your palm in a T style. It looked like Tony Brothers was out there and Jason Tatum was doing a step back or hanging on the rim. Tony Brothers loves to tee up Jason Tatum. Beep! Get him out. That's exactly what Kirby Smart was doing. There's also that whole goal line fiasco. I thought the refs got it right. And I put on Twitter, I'm like, am I crazy or does it seem like the refs got it right? Immediately got 15 death threats from Auburn fans. I am pretty terrified to talk college sports on Twitter. I said that Arch Manning was kind of a cornball for doing the bye-bye to the Sooners, which I retract. That was actually kind of raw. I was a little hurt because, I had John Mateer to win the Heisman and Oklahoma to win the SEC in my preseason predictions. And a Texas fan just told me to go F myself and then sent me a video of a dude with a glass jar going into his butthole. I don't know how those two correlate. Well, technically, he was doing that to himself. Let's nip that one in the bud. Ole Miss at Georgia. Georgia has been very underwhelming this season. They have been. They lost to Alabama. They should have lost to Auburn. This is basically either going to be one of the most instant classics of all time, like when Georgia played Tennessee, or this is going to be the legit battle of mid. We are going to have Trinidad Chambliss against Gunnar Stockton. I love Trinidad Chambliss, man. As a guy who also played Division II football, way to put on for us, bro. We got guys that I could have been in the NFL right now. No, I couldn't have. I didn't even start on a 1-in-10 football team. I like Ole Miss in this game, though. I think that they will be able to spread out and cut up Georgia the way that Alabama did, the way that Tennessee did. Even though Tennessee lost that game, I think that Ole Miss is obviously a better team than Tennessee. They handled LSU. I think they will shut down Georgia. I think that Ole Miss wins this one by more than 7. Right? Obviously, I'm not promoting gambling, anything like that. It's just what I think. And I try to get as accurate of a prediction as I can, right? It's the lunch table. When you and your boys are talking at the lunch table, you're not like, oh, I think that Ole Miss is going to win by the hair on their chinny chin chin. You're like, no. Ole Miss is going to spank Georgia. Do I think they're going to spank Georgia? No. Do I think that they are going to pretty handily win like a 10-point game that was like never really in doubt? That's what I think is going to happen. I understand it's at night in the dog pound. Give me Ole Miss. Moving on, you have Alabama, number 6 Alabama, going into Tennessee. Actually, no, it's not. My stats guy lied to me. It looks like it's Alabama versus Tennessee, which means Tennessee is coming in to Alabama. Look, man. I love Tennessee. Joey Aguilar has been elite. There's just something about this Alabama team, man. Kalen DeBoer got them right. Ty Simpson is slinging that ball. They just came off of a big time dub against Mizzou, at Mizzou. Their defense is flying around. In Tennessee, I think they are a very underrated team. They're a very exciting team to watch. Chris Brazzle is, he's special, man. Brazzle Dazzle. I mean, when you have a name like Brazzle, last name, and your nickname is Brazzle Dazzle, that is so much aura. It's like Miami's D-end being named Ruben Bain. Like a defender with the last name Bain just exudes aura. Like if I was a tight end, they're like, hey, we're going to run this. I want you to swipe block Ruben Bain. Sorry, coach, you lost me. I'm out. Hey, take it easy, man. I'm not doing that. I think that it's going to be interesting because Ryan Williams did not touch the ball. And he was their number one receiver. Obviously, they're going between him and I think it's Bernard, right? I'm not as well versed on college players. Please don't get mad at me. I think that Alabama wins this one. I think that they got the perfect loss to Florida State where it's embarrassing. You get pushed around. Now you go against Tennessee. Everyone's like, oh, I could see Alabama losing this one. They beat Georgia. They beat Mizzou. They beat Vandy. I think that this is just their time. I think that this will be the Ty Simpson Heisman game. Do I think he should win the Heisman? I think that if anybody should win the Heisman, it should be a non-quarterback, especially this year. However, I am taking Alabama to beat Tennessee. Although, as I've been on record, I'm not a massive Alabama guy, so I really kind of do hope Tennessee wins. I hope I'm talking to you all on Tuesday just cheesing left to right. I don't think it's going to happen. Give me Alabama to beat Tennessee. Next, we have number 10, LSU. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Going on the road to play Vanderbilt. And here's the thing. LSU has left a lot to be desired on offense. They always have athletes, right? Every single SEC school is going to have crazy athletes at every position. And Vanderbilt is, they're not out of it yet. They are a scrappy team. Obviously, we know Pavia. I think Clark Lee is a very scrappy coach. I honestly think he's a better coach than Brian Kelly. Now, granted, I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly. On or off the field. Not a Brian Kelly fan. Respectfully. I'm not saying this to try to disrespect him. I just don't like the guy. Wish the best for him. I'm never going to wish bad on anybody. I just don't like the guy. Nussmeier's been banged up. Obviously, they have weeks. They have all this stuff going in. Everyone's like, okay, LSU, it's time to really get locked in. But they're going into Vandy in a noon game. Usually, right, we're all talking about, oh, the night games are huge. There's not really night games at Vandy yet. You kind of have to be an established program to have a massive night game. You know what I mean? And for that reason, sadly, give me the LSU Tigers to go into Vanderbilt and win. I know it's not the sexy upset pick, but I got to tell you what I think is going to happen, and I think that this is the week that Nussmeier gets right. Yes, this is a good Vandy defense, but this is an angry LSU team. This is a very angry LSU team, and I think they take it out on Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt's a good team. I just don't think that they're upper echelon of the SEC yet. If Clark Lee stays, they will get there. Mark my words, they are not there yet. Give me LSU to beat Vanderbilt. Next, we go on to what I am the most excited to watch out of all these games. I know there's a sexy matchup of Ole Miss, Georgia. There's Alabama, Tennessee, all these SEC blue bloods playing each other. Number 13, Notre Dame, going on the road to go to USC, who just slapped Michigan. Maava is a dog. You have probably who I think is the best running back in the country. I understand some people are going to say Hardy from Mizzou. I still think Jeremiah Love is the best running back in college football. And this is huge, right? We all know the Notre Dame-USC rivalry is fierce. Another thing, why is it on Peacock? Right, I can't stand that we have to have 17 different streaming services to watch a game. I can't stand it. Who am I lying? I'm going to be illegally streaming it anyway. Hand up. I don't even care. IRS, come get me. I'm going to be illegally streaming this. I don't have the money to pay for that. Nor if I had the money, will I pay for that. Even LeBron James illegally streams games. So who am I to be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm paying my hard-earned money to watch that. I'm not. This is it for Notre Dame. USC could still probably sneak into the playoffs, even if they lost this one. Notre Dame loses this, goodbye season. It's done. It is over. They don't have a conference schedule. Should they have one? Yeah, they should. However, even if they lose this one, but USC has a good season, they'll make it. If they lose this one and USC just craps out to end the season, it's over for Notre Dame. They lost to two great teams, all right? Miami, Texas A&M. Two top 5 teams. Yeah, two top 5 teams. Miami 2, Texas A&M 4. They lost to them in close games, right? Texas A&M literally last second. Miami was a great back and forth game. And USC, man, it's just something about Maihava. It's just something about a Lincoln Riley quarterback that's just like, dude, they're never out of this game. What they did to Michigan was impressive. But I just don't think they have the physicality to go toe-to-toe with Notre Dame. I think they're going to have so much more urgency than USC Notre Dame will. They know it. They know it. That if they lose this game, that's the season. If they lose this game, Jeremiah Love, CJ Carr, all these guys who were super hyped up to enter the season and have delivered. They have delivered so far. The defense, they understand if they lose this game, it's probably over. They'd need a miracle to get in. And I think Notre Dame goes in there and absolutely, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it. I think Notre Dame stomps USC. To be honest, I'm a Big Ten guy. I want USC to win. I just think Notre Dame is going to go in there with their hair on fire and stomp out USC. I'm talking, it's going to look like when Notre Dame played Alabama in the Natty. Just different levels of physicality. Now, oh boy, I'm probably setting myself up to be on a USC highlight reel. And that's okay, because I say what I believe in. But come 10 p.m. Central, I want to see James Draws get his phone out, because you guys know he does not like Lincoln Riley. If you guys don't know who James Draws is, he's the what happened guy, you know? The what happened? How'd you lose to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish? He does not like Lincoln Riley. I think he's an Oklahoma guy. So come 10 p.m., I want to see it. I want to see pure joy on James Draws' face, and I want to see USC. I don't. I want to be right, but I also want USC to win. Whatever. I just want a good game, but I think Notre Dame stomps them. Moving on to the last college football game we are going to talk about. Yes, I understand. If you guys want to watch a college football show, go watch Josh Pate. Not a diss at all. I listen to Josh Pate all the time. Love his show. Actually, I have fanboyed in his DMs, and he has graciously answered me a couple times. Maybe now that I'm bald, he'll take me under his wing. Who knows? The last game of the night, the Holy War. You have number 15, Brigham Young, facing Utah at home. Utah, great offensive line. Devon Dampier, the last time he was in a big game, and I know you could probably count Arizona State, but they didn't have Levitt. I don't count that as a big game. Dampier shrunk. Texas Tech ate them alive. And Texas Tech is a great team. They're number 7 in the nation for a reason. They have all that oil money. They brought in all these recruits on that oil money, and they're playing like they're paying people with oil money. That's just how it is. In BYU, man, I just can't get behind them. I just can't. And it's not because they're Mormon. Don't do that. Bear Bachmeier is a freshman. Sure, he's battle-tested through this season. This is the biggest game of his life. This is the Holy War. There are going to be a lot of Sprites being drunk in Provo that night. There are going to be a lot of fruit roll-ups rolled up with Gushers that people are eating. There are going to be so many people in a sugar coma in the stands. It's going to be crazy. And I know that because a couple of my friends actually went to BYU. I think that the offensive line is just going to maul. I think it will be a good game. I think BYU will somehow have a couple special teams plays to keep him in it. I think Dampier, as much as I love him, and I think he's a great player, he makes a lot of really bad mistakes. I think some of those will show up. But I'm still going to take Utah on the road to beat BYU. I don't know who's favored. I don't really care who's favored. Give me Utah to beat BYU. And those are my college football predictions. Now we are going to the NFL. And this is the thing about the NFL this year. You have no idea who's going to win, man. You really don't. Unless you're the Jets, then you know you're going to lose. I'm sorry, but that's just kind of how it's been for a while. And I went on a podcast 3 weeks ago after the Jets almost beat the Bucs, and I was like, dude, I think Aaron Glenn's the guy. He's going to turn the Jets around. I hope that nobody ever watches that one because that was embarrassing of me. But here we go. Tomorrow, 7:15 p.m., you have the Steelers going on the road into Cincy to play the Bengals. I'm going to take a sip of my water. It is tap water, right? We're not bougie. We don't drink water bottles. I should probably wash this cup, though. I'm not sure that now I'm bald. Maybe my immune system takes a hit. Probably. There's probably some science behind that. Guess what? Gonna drink my tap water regardless. And my Red 40. We need to stop the slander on Red 40. Red 40 is great. Obviously it's not, but they're in Gushers, and Gushers are, oh my gosh, Gushers are amazing. Steelers at Bengals. The Steelers are, obviously, they're the number one team in the AFC North. They're the only team in the AFC North with a positive point differential. And the thing is everybody else in the AFC North has a horrible point differential. The Bengals, awful. Browns, awful. Ravens, awful. Because they all lose. They're all losers right now. Not saying that in a bad way. But the Bengals played well against the Packers. You guys know I'm a Packers fan. I was beside myself because I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to choke to Joe Flacco again. I almost threw on my helmet and ran out there. I said, you know what? Let me cover Jamar Chase. And it's a short week for the Steelers and Bengals. You know, that happens. But the Steelers just got done with a very physical divisional game. And the Bengals, it's now or never, right? Flacco, it's time to turn into vintage Joe Flacco. Like when he went to the Browns, his first stint, he was pretty bad the first couple games. Sure, he had stats, but it was eh. Then down the stretch, he turned into literally elite Joe Flacco. Like 2012 Joe Flacco came back out. That's who they need to see. And the Steelers' pass defense has been a little suspect. However, I am fearing for Joe Flacco's life. He is behind an offensive line that is bad. He is going against Cam Hayward, Alex Highsmith, and TJ Watt. Which means one thing. Zach Taylor, if you are listening to this, you probably aren't. You probably have no idea I exist. Give Jamar Chase 15 targets. That's all you got to do. Your best chance at this game is you throw it up to Jamar Chase. He either makes a crazy Jamar Chase play or gets a PI. Same with T. Higgins. That's the only hope. You're not going to beat him running the ball. It's just not going to happen. But you know what? Thursday Night Football has been a thing of upsets. 2 weeks ago, what happened? Rams-Niners. Niners are on the hospital ball. They have nobody. Mac Jones comes in. Sling, sling, sling. Beat the Rams. Uh-oh, what happened last week? Eagles came in. Big bad Eagles. Looking to avenge the loss against the Broncos. Cam Scadaboo had 3 touchdowns and sent Zach Bond flying. Literally flying. I was in shock when I saw that. Yes, I know. Oh, you have a bald head. You look like Zach Bond. I've also seen that in my DMs as well. Taking another sip of water. Bear with me. And I understand that this is the first time a lot of you guys are listening to this, but I have to get this off my chest. I think the Cincinnati Bengals upset the Steelers on Thursday Night Football in Cincinnati. There, I said it. And if you haven't listened to the show, this is something I say a lot. Because we keep close to the creed of the lunch table. You're not sitting with your boys on a stat sheet. Like, look at this guy's rushing yards per game. Look at this. No, you go off straight vibes. My vibes, the vibes that I am getting as I have more receptors in my skull that were now blocked out by any hair anymore. I think the Cincinnati Bengals upset the Steelers. That is my upset of the week. There are more to come. Do not worry. Moving on. We have another game in Europe. Look. I'm not a fan of getting up early for these. Right? Usually I'm in church this time anyways. Rams and Jags is a game that should be good on paper. Like, awesome, awesome game. Jags coming off a revenge game. Rams coming off of a game where they played the Ravens, and honestly, they did not play good at all. Sure, they won. I think Puka's out. They still haven't really went either way. That's the thing with doing these on Thursdays is you're not really sure who's in or who's out. If someone's questionable, we are going to assume that they are out. From here on out, we are going to assume that they are out. This is going to be the vintage Davante Adams game. We saw what JSN just did to the Jags. And look, man, I tried to tell you guys about JSN. When I watched him in the Rose Bowl against Britton Covey, if you guys go back and watch that game, JSN was good. Obviously, he was the best player on the field in that game. He had the best performance. Britton Covey was balling too. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Now he's on practice squad. JSN's probably top 5 in the league right now. It is what it is, right? College football, right? Who knows? I think the Rams beat the Jaguars. I think that they are a little embarrassed from what they put on tape. I understand the Jags are probably more mad because they lost. But the Rams have had 2 back-to-back weeks of just bad offense, especially in the red zone. They haven't been good. Who's a really good red zone receiver? Davante Adams, who in the game against the Ravens was wide open 2 straight plays and Stafford missed him. You don't think that eats at Stafford a little bit? I think that the Rams come out and just bomb the Jags. 100%. I have the Rams beating the Jags. However, when I say these things, I'm not trying to make light of a team. All right. I understand most of us listening to the show know what the game is going to be like, know the teams. Like I said, lunch table, you're not out here briefing your boys on all the guys. You're just talking ball, which is what we are doing right now. Moving on, we have the Eagles at the Vikings. The Eagles coming off of a mini-bye after 2 glorious weeks for me. They beat the Packers in the playoffs, and Eagles fans just do not like me because I kind of troll them a little bit. Hand up. That's on me. I'll take accountability for that. And the Vikings are finally back from their vacation to Europe. Don't think J.J. McCarthy is playing, which is good. The Eagles have a really bad pass rush. And this could be a Carson Wentz revenge game. But above all, the Eagles' secondary has been very lackluster. Very bad. Wan'Dale Robinson cooked them. LaJordan Humphrey, Red River rivalry legend, by the way, was cooking them. Justin Jefferson, in my opinion, is still the number 1 receiver in football. I understand Jamar. I'm willing to hear out arguments, right? Like Jamar Chase, Puka. I'm willing to hear JSN right now. I still think it's Justin Jefferson. Eagles are reeling. The Vikings defense is very good. I think the Eagles need to get back to give Saquon the ball. What happened when the Eagles, or not the Eagles, what happened when the Vikings played the Falcons? Bijan ran all over them like he did on Monday night. However, I missed that episode. That's on me. I'm not sure if I think I may have just predicted 3 straight upsets. That's on me. I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to look at what some dude in a chair is saying, because I'm also a dude in a chair saying something. Give me the Vikings to beat the Eagles. And I think that this is the game that makes A.J. Brown formally request a trade. I think he's out. Do I think he should be out? No, I think that the narrative around Jalen Hurts is so overblown, it's crazy. Everybody is a freaking head coach, a receivers coach on Twitter. They post a still frame. Bro, what's he doing here? Do you know the play? Do you know the progressions? Do you know any of that? No. So why are you talking? I'm also one of those guys, so I kind of do enjoy doing it because it riles a lot of people up. But give me the Vikings. Next up, you have the Patriots going into Tennessee to play the Titans. Titans' first game without Brian Callahan. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. The Drake May hype train rolls on, right? For those of you who subbed to me on YouTube, it's not a lot of people. We're working on it, though. All right, Ben Like Sports Industries is going up in all facets. We're working hard. I dropped a video, I think, 2 weeks into the preseason, saying that the breakout was coming for the Patriots. I said that they would win the AFC East this year. And if you could see the comments on that video, there was none because nobody watched it. But it's here. And it's only a matter of time before Vrabel's like, hey, you know, Ramondre Stevenson, he's a good running back. He's RB2. Travion Henderson should become the RB1. He takes better care of the ball. He's more efficient than Rhamondre. I understand that Rhamondre's probably smarter right now. He understands the scheme a little better. But it's only a matter of time before Travion takes over. Then they are really cooking. They got a quarterback. They have a running back. They have a franchise left tackle. And it's only a matter of time before they trade for a receiver like A.J. Brown. Like a second-round pick and a player for A.J. Brown is not crazy to do. Especially when they look like they could, if they play like they are right now, they can go deep in the playoffs. I'm not saying Super Bowl yet, but it's on the tip of my tongue. Pause. Next, we have the Panthers going on the road to play another team that is back from a European vacation, the Jets. And I want to take a moment of silence for the Jets, man. Dun, 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 dun. That was supposed to be taps from a trumpet. Just give me the Panthers, man. The Jets, Garrett Wilson's out. Breece Hall wants out. Braylon Allen's hurt. Justin Fields' confidence is shot. But we will always have that Week 3 game against the Bucs, won't we? The one that got me believing. Rico Dowdle is a dog. When they get Chuba Hubbard back, oh my gosh, that 1-2 punch is going to be deadly. Everyone's like, oh, Rico. Chuba Hubbard's a dog too. Do not get it twisted. And Bryce Young, for everybody that's saying he is bad, when he needs to be good, like when he 100% needs to be good, with exception to that one drive against the Cardinals at the end of the game, he has shown up. Last year against the Eagles, threw a perfect ball to Xavier Legette, but Legette dropped it. He is clutch. He has been that way since college, and he has continued to be that way in the NFL. I think the Panthers have something cooking. Give me the Panthers to beat the Jets. That may be, actually, that's probably our second favorite, obviously. Patriots are going to be favored over the Tennessee Titans. Moving on, we have another team, the Dolphins. Tough loss against the Panthers, right? Jalen Waddle looks legit. Tua hasn't been as bad as people are saying, but right now we're having, instead of actual good press conferences, it's just people being like, well, he was late to a meeting. Well, he's the quarterback, and he was 3 minutes late. It sounds like people arguing over the bathroom pass in middle school. I was one of the guys who argued over the bathroom pass in middle school a lot. Because I wanted to go play Madden Mobile on my phone in the stall. Look, don't judge me. We all did it. That game was peak. Against the Browns. And the Browns, I think they're going to win this one. I think that Quinshon Judkins is good enough that he will win this game. I'm a big Quinshon Judkins believer on the football field. He runs like Le'Veon Bell. Like, he has all the stats, or not all the stats, but all the physical attributes to be better than Le'Veon Bell. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be better, all right? So before you guys all get angry, he is faster. He is more agile. He has almost as good contact balance. We haven't had enough of a sample size yet, but if you've watched his games, with the exception of that last one, that one against the Steelers was rough. He has been elite. I will say it right now. Quinshon Judkins has been an elite running back, except for last week. So give me the Browns to beat the Dolphins. I think Jalen Phillips is gone. I think Mike McDaniel is going to be gone. I think the Dolphins are going to hit the reset button. Okay, I just think that's going to happen. Moving on to the second to last game in the noon slate, Central Time, of course. You have the Saints going on the road to play the Bears. This is an interesting game. The Bears kind of got away with one against the Commanders. However, I'm going to tip my cap to the Bears. Obviously, you guys, everyone thinks, oh, you hate the Bears because you're a Packers fan. You're correct, but I try to be as objective as possible. Spencer Rattler has been really good. If you haven't watched him, you'd probably think, oh, the team doesn't win. Spencer Rattler's fault. It hasn't been his fault. The Saints have been in a lot of games that they shouldn't have, and that's because of the man under center. Kendre Miller has been solid. Kamara has been iffy, but he's getting up there in age. We love Alvin Kamara, though. We love Alvin Kamara. The Bears are coming off of a short week. They're a little juiced up right now. Gosh, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't. I think that this is a prime upset spot for the Saints. And I promise, go back and listen to recent episodes. I don't always say that there's going to be an upset, but this is just a short week. You're coming off a win. You can, they got their get back for the Hail Mary. The Saints are just kind of like, yep, okay, cool. We'll be waiting. They're scrappy. And as much as I love Caleb Williams, I actually recently was also on another podcast where I said that he is the future of the Bears, and I think that he's going to be the best quarterback in the North by the end of the season. I got the Saints winning this one. I think that they're too elated. I'm not sure they'll be focused enough. Give me the Saints. Last one, in the 12 o'clock window, you have the Las Vegas Raiders going to play the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to take a sip of my water because this is going to be a long one for me right here. The Raiders have been bad. A lot of people were gassing them up preseason. Hand up, it was me. I thought better of Geno. Geno Smith has been borderline unplayable. Like I said, I'm not trying to take any shots. He'll probably tell you that too. Turns the ball over. Can't move the ball downfield on drives. It's just not there. Brock Bowers is banged up. Their O-line is iffy. On defense, they have Max Crosby. It's the Raiders again. It's the Raiders with Josh Jacobs. And the Chiefs are a well-oiled machine. They started out slow. Everyone's like, oh, the sky is falling. They're getting Rashee Rice back. Xavier Worthy is healthy. They still have Patrick Mahomes. They have Taylor Swift in the stands. They have Caitlin Clark cheering him on. They have everybody on their side. They played against the Lions. And hear me, 0 penalties called on them. Sorry to say, the Chiefs are back. And I think they beat the Raiders pretty handily. I think they embarrassed the Raiders. But please, Raiders, win. You guys know me. I do not like the Chiefs. My roommate in college, for all 4 years, was a Chiefs fan. I had to witness him win 2 Super Bowls. 2 of them things. Maybe even 3. No, because they lost in the COVID year. But I had to witness it. And it wasn't fun at all. It sucked. Having to go home as a Packers fan after my team lost again in the playoffs in choking fashion. And he would just be there chilling like, I have Patrick Mahomes. Cool, bruh. Cool. Give me the Chiefs. Going into the afternoon slate. See what I did there? Because it's afternoon. Guys still here? Okay. You have the Colts going against the Chargers. The Chargers kind of got right. Also, let me clarify. I messed up a little earlier in the show. I said the Panthers against the Dolphins. Yes, that was a bad loss. They play the Chargers. All right. Mix up wires in my head. Must have hit one when I was shaving, as you can see from the bandages on my head. Colts, hopefully they have a safe warm-ups because I don't know what happened. I don't know if a meteor hit, but that was ridiculous. Something I don't think we'll ever see again. Chargers are coming off that win against the Dolphins that they probably should have lost. And Ladd McConkey's back. He never left, right? He just didn't get as many reps. He didn't get as many routes. He's still that guy. And the Colts, I like their defense. Chargers O-line is decimated. I love Herbert. I know. I've been called a Herbert sexual before. I'm not really a fan of that verbiage, but I love Justin Herbert. What can you say? Colts, Danny Dimes. Tyler Warren has been so freaking good. Hey, when I did my fantasy show special, I said, I'm drafting Tyler Warren. He's going to be my tight end 1. I even put him over my first-round pick, who was Kyle Pitts. It's been paying dividends for me. Yes, I still have a losing record. No, I do not want to talk about it at this time. Give me the Colts to beat the Chargers. I think this is just once again going to be another year of the Chargers where they have so many injuries. Vidal has been great. He's going to be fantastic for the Chargers. Their offensive line is decimated. They don't have Omarion Hampton. Quentin Johnson is still dealing with stuff. Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey. Ladd can do it. Keenan's getting up there in age. He can't do it all by himself. Gadsden has to start balling. He had a bad game, but he can bounce back, right? He's young. You'll have more bad games when you're young. That's the NFL. It's just how it goes. So give me the Colts to beat the Chargers. Moving on, you have the Giants against the Broncos. Giants are riding hot, man. You smack your rival at home by multiple scores with rookies on Thursday Night Football in front of the entire world. You're running hot. The Broncos, probably one of the ugliest teams in football to watch. I don't say that as a knock. It's not fun to watch them. They just scratch and claw and grind, dude. Bo Nix has been underwhelming. J.K. Dobbins has been great. Their defense has been outstanding. Obviously, Pat Surtain. There's no other easy way to say this. I love the Giants. I really hope they win. I love Scatabo. I love Dart. I especially love Brian Burns on their defensive line. Probably one of the best sellies. They have the best celebration D-line in all of football. You have Sexy Dexy. Don't be scared of it, but be aware of it. You have Kayvon Thibodeau. He doesn't really have a celly, but he just kind of goes crazy. You have Abdul Carter, who's probably going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then you have Brian Burns in the Spider-Man celly. That's tough, dude. That's actually very tough. I love that. I think that the Broncos, they're just going to be too much. I think that Jackson Dart, yes, he did well against the Eagles, but you saw what he did against the Saints. I think he's still too young. I do think he's going to be a good quarterback in the league. I'm actually one of the sole people who defended the Giants trading up to take him. This is a test. A rookie quarterback against the Broncos. I'm sorry. Give me the Broncos in that one. I'm sorry, Big Blue. I really hope you win, though. Moving on, you have the Packers going into Arizona to play the Cardinals. Not sure on Kyler Murray's status yet, but the Cardinals played good against the Colts. They really did. We all know what happened against Tennessee. We will never speak of that again. That was tough. Tough. Everybody on that team would have been running sideline to sideline. I would have gotten fired as a coach that day. I probably would have resigned. But the Packers, man, I love them. You guys know I'm a Packers fan, and I love them. I love Micah Parsons. He needs to get going. I understand, he's getting held all the time. He is. But every good edge rusher gets held all the time. This is a trap game. It really is. And the Packers are not good against tight ends. You could see Ferguson. You could see Fannin. And they are the worst team at burying somebody. When they're playing a team that they shouldn't win, or they should easily win, they always keep it close. The Cowboys, the Browns, the Bengals. When they're playing a team that's like, I don't know who's going to win, they're fantastic. The Lions, the Commanders, they're fantastic. But this is once again a game that I think they might be a little over their skis, and I'm a Packers fan. So I'm probably going to be banished from the fan base for saying this. I got the Cardinals on an upset. I do. And it breaks my heart to say it. Because I hope I'm wrong here. But this game just screams, okay, the Packers, oh, wow. Got away with one versus the Bengals, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Okay. Going against Jacoby Brissett, even if Kyler Murray's healthy. We're going against the Cardinals. Defense isn't good. They don't really have James Conner. Marvin Harrison Jr. is in concussion protocol. Let's just waltz in here and waltz home. I think the Cardinals are going to beat them. I think it'll be close. Either the Packers blow them out or the Cardinals beat them. There's no in-between where the Packers win a close game here. I don't think it happens. Packers also have a kicker on the team for the second week. I think he's going to miss a big field goal because it's the Packers. They're going to have a special teams error, and I'm going to freak out. And if that happens, I want everyone to say I was right because, dang it, I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to grow this pod. I want this to be my lifestyle. Can I get a uh-huh? And everybody said uh-huh. Moving on. Another NFC East matchup. You have the Commanders going into Dallas to play the Cowboys. Once again, Commanders fumbled the game away. Cowboys are scrappy. They fight big time. They could easily be number one in the NFC East. A couple games go their way. Their defense isn't great. But the Commanders' offense hasn't necessarily been great either. Cowboys are decent against what? The run. They're bad against what? The pass. Commanders have not been that good passing the ball. Commanders actually haven't impressed me, period. And I did see this coming because they won so many close games last year. It's like they weren't blowing teams out, really. It was, okay, how are they going to win it this time? What about last year? Last time they played the Cowboys, they almost lost because they let up a kick return. Or they did. They did lose that game because Terry McLaurin had a massive touchdown and they missed the extra point. I think the Cowboys win this, and I know I'm taking a lot of upsets, but the Commanders, their defensive backfield is very slim. whether that be because of injuries or honestly, they just might not be up to it. I don't know if CD is playing, but even if not, George Pickens has been a dog. Jake Ferguson has been a dog. Turpin's going to be out there. Javonte Williams is getting going in the passing game. Hunter Lipke is getting some stuff. FCS legend, North Dakota State legend, Hunter Lipke. Give me the Cowboys to win this one. Now we go to Sunday night with Carrie Underwood. We have the Falcons coming off of a massive, massive win against the Bills. And the 49ers, I think, they did. Yeah, wow. That's right. Fred Warner broke his leg. And that just takes the air out of it because they're being so competitive. But no Bosa, no Fred Warner. I just can't pick with them. The Falcons have just been so good. In main part, Bijan Robinson, I think he's the best player in football right now. Out of any position. Either him or Brandon Aubrey. He's just different, dude. We knew what he was when he came out of Texas, and he is showing what he is right now. A dog. Straight up. 100% he is a dog. And the Niners are just so depleted. Kittle's still out. Christian McCaffrey is probably dead tired. Brian Robinson, yes, they brought him in. He hasn't really done much. No offense. But the Falcons, they just shut down the Bills' offense. The 49ers' offense is like the Bills' offense minus Josh Allen. Better running back, worse quarterback. Mac Jones has been stellar, though. Give me the Falcons to beat the 49ers, which brings us to Monday night. Buccaneers going into Ford Field to play the Lions. We all know about these ones. Massive Monday night game. Only thing is, the Lions are not going to have Brian Branch. Why is that? Because he punched Juju Smith-Schuster in the face. Hey, man. I don't blame him. That blindside block was crazy. Maybe doing it in front of every single camera in the world was a little crazy. Like, hey, maybe sneak him in the tunnel or something. I don't know. Not advocating this at all, by the way. NFL, I'm not advocating for player-on-player violence off the field. But he jumped him in front of every single camera in the entire 53-man roster of both teams. Maybe pick a better time and place, man. That's all I'm saying. I want no smoke with Brian Branch. But Baker Mayfield has nobody to throw to. Once again, Abuka is going to be out. Godwin might be out. Evans is going to be out. It's going to have Cade Otton, Rachaad White, and a Dream. No disrespect to Tez Johnson or any of those guys. Obviously, they're in the NFL. They're good players. Who expected this? Baker Mayfield is just a dog. And the Buccaneers' defense has been decent, right? Obviously, they just beat the Niners, depleted defense, whatever. However, I think this is going to be Lions, even though they don't have Brian Branch. I don't think Tampa Bay, I don't think they'll sustain enough drives. I think their defense will get tired, and I think the Lions are just going to wear them out. The Lions are embarrassed. Their first drive of the game against Kansas City, they just punch them in the face. They move it down the field. They score a touchdown, but they were lined up illegally, and they kick a field goal, and they never recovered from that. And the Buccaneers, they're scratching, they're clawing. At one point, one has to fall through. I think they dropped this one. Now we go to the last game of the week, starting at, I'm gonna say what time it starts at, and if you're driving and you need to pull over when you hear this, I completely understand. 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got a couple DMs from people in Germany. I don't know what time that is in Germany. I'm guessing it's a crazy, ungodly hour. The game's going to be over at 12:30 a.m. I am so lucky I'm unemployed and I'm going to watch that game. The Texans versus the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the Texans have had a good defense. And the Seahawks have had a killer offense. JSN, dog. Torrey Horton, Colorado State legend, dog. Sam Darnold, dog. Kenneth Walker, dog. Zach Charbonnet, I'll give it to him, dog. AJ Barner, dog. Texans scammed me. They did. They said, hey, Woody Marks is going to be our RB1 after he had a great game. Snatched it right back from me. Okay. Guess I dropped Travis Hunter for nothing. But this is going to be interesting. Because the Seahawks don't have the greatest pass rush in the world. In the Texans, it's like the Seahawks offense is good. The Texans defense is good. Unstoppable force meets immovable object. Boom. The Seahawks defense is going against the Texans offense. A movable force meets a stoppable object. What's going to happen? I don't know. But Lumen Field, it's going to be 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is ridiculous because of the time zone. This is the only time I'm ever going to make one of these. Because of the time zone. Give me... man. I'm just like going back and forth. I had all these decided before the show. But talking it out just makes it crazy. Give me the Texans to beat the Seahawks. I think Nico Collins has a huge game. The Texans' offense is getting rolling. Nico Collins is locking in. CJ Stroud is getting better and better each week. Seahawks defense is underrated, I will say that. I don't think, there's not one unit in football that I'm like, oh, dude, they are buns, with exception to the Bills defense. I think the Texans win this one. However, JSN legacy game, once again. Now, as I wrap up the show, I thank each and every one of you for watching. This is the first time I've posted the video on YouTube. I'm not going to lie. I was scared of being called cringe. I was. But everything that you want, I saw this quote today, right? We're going to end every single episode with a quote. Everything that you want is on the other side of you being cringe. You know how many people I thought would be cringe if I shaved my head? I just got, like, I think I'm up to 60,000 followers in a single day because I dared to be cringe. Who cares? If you're out there and you're like, oh, what is this person going to think of me? If you're scared of what they're going to think about you, you're not in the right headspace, man. You got to do what you think is best for you. Like, I am terrified as I post this, right? A lot of people think I'm just a guy who likes to shave his head and do stuff for views. I'm not. I'm a guy who loves sports. I'm a guy who wants to make this his lifestyle. I don't care how cringy that sounds. I believe it's going to happen. So I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. If you guys do like it, leave me a message on Instagram. I read all of my DMs, good or bad. I probably shouldn't read the bad ones. They kind of make me sad, but it is what it is. I see people reach out to me all the time. Are we getting another podcast? That's why I changed this schedule. Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to try my best. Sometimes I'll miss some, but I'll always tweet out in advance. Follow the Twitter, Ben Like Sport. It's in the link on all my stuff in the bio. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Have a great day or night whenever you are listening to this. And always remember that Jesus loves you. Peace.